Hey everybody, welcome to our YouTube channel. Please like, share, subscribe, and turn on those post notifications for our upcoming videos and episodes. Thank you and enjoy the show.
All right. We are here. Chanel, are you on?
I am on and I am ready because you know it's my favorite day of the week. It is
Red
Redline
Line Thursday.
Thursday.
Red Line Thursday. Red Line Thursday. Red
Ow!
Line Thursday.
Right
Red
about
Line Thursday.
hey, hey. Oh!
Oh, woo! Here we are again for another Red Line Thursday. Y'all, this has been a wonderful ride, haven't it?
It's been a truly beautiful ride. I want to thank everybody so far. I get into the thank yous later, but I just did a little research today and we are on the first page of the arts and entertainment on talkshoeradio.com. So
Yes, we
yeah,
are.
we doing it.
Yes, we
We
are.
doing it, people. We doing it. And it's all thanks to you and your support and what you've been giving us for about the last month. So all love over here.
All right, let's get into our topic for today. Chanel, what we gonna be talking about today?
All right, people. Welcome to the Red Line Podcast, everybody. Hosted by Queen Alexis, as you just heard, and myself, Nelly Swag, right here on TalkShoeRadio.com. The doors are now closing. Please take your seat. Hold on tight as the train pulls off from Howard, headed south to 95th. On today's episode, we're about to talk about something that you will see if you're just scrolling down your timeline on social media, and that's parents publicly punishing, cursing, or whooping their child or children, all in the name of clout. Like the great prophet Offset said in the book of Migos, they do anything for clout. Hey, they do anything for clout. Hey, they do anything for clout. We're going to get we're going to get right into it. We're going to dive into why they do it, the damage that can be done by putting their kids on blast. But like we do before we get into the deep conversation and really unpack all of these things and go deep and psychoanalyze what we're about to do, we're about to do my favorite segment, and I know yours. So, everyone out there, say it with me: loose squares, and loud. Brought to
And
you
loud.
by our very own Queen Alexis. So, Queen, what is your loose squares and loud for this Red Line Thursday?
Well, bless your heart and all your parts. Welcome to another Loose Squares and Loud segment, hosted by your very own, yours truly, myself, Queen Alexis. Here we go. Since we're gonna be on this topic about parents being ignorant with their kids, on the social media, let's talk about this. So on the other day, I was actually on the red line, the actual red line, and I saw a mama that was on the phone. I guess she was on her social media timeline and everything, and she was going off on her child about something dealing with what they did at the store. And then that woman, in the midst of her anger and her frustration with her child about how he he behaved in the store, she go, you know what? I'm gonna do this. I got you. I got you. And she took her phone and she went on her social media page and pushed live. Like, I'm a mama. And Chanel is a mama. And when we are upset at our children for their behavior, I don't think neither one of us had any time or energy to go, I'm going to go live first and push live and wait them three, look, and make a topic, name of the topic for the live, and then wait them 3 seconds and then go off. Who got time for that? Why you got time for that? And I mean, she went in, and it was the most dumbest stuff ever. The child, she mad at him because the child just touch something, touch something in the store that she said no to. He is a kid. Come on, let's be honest. There's some things you can be now to all the parents that got little kids. Yeah, you're gonna have to repeat yourself about 100 times. You're gonna have to tell them no about 1 million times. But to go on live on the World Wide Web and humiliate your child like that, you tripping, girl. You tripping. And that's all I got for the loose squares and loud segment. Bless your hearts and your parts. I am done. Chanel, take.
All right, all right. Well, thank you for that Loose Squares and Loud segment. Once again, Loose Squares and Loud, you can catch it here every Thursday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on TalkShoeRadio.com. Brought to you by the wonderful Queen Alexis. You know. So, as we are discussing right now, we're discussing the whole um social media and parenting. So if you're a parent in this day and age, then social media is a big part of your life. It's one of the first things sometimes you check in the morning or before you go to bed. We get a lot of news and information. We also share pictures of our children on how they have grown, what they're doing, their sports, their accolades, their accomplishments, etc. We share from sometimes the time they are born to what they're currently doing now, no matter what the age, especially millennial parents, because we've come up with social media. Instagram is about 10 years old. Facebook is around 14, 15 years old. So we have integrated social media into our everyday lives and what we do. But there are some parents who share too much of the wrong things, and it goes on in their household for all the world to see. So I like to call this don't press live. Don't press it and clout chasing. All right. So basically, if any of you have ever been on any type of social media, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, wherever, but especially Facebook, you will see these videos of sometimes kids who've gotten bad grades and the parent wraps up the um a present for Christmas, like it's a PlayStation or an Xbox, and then the little boy gets so excited that he's finna get it. He opens it up, then it's an empty box with like school supplies in it. Say, "Hi, that's what you get," and their child is heartbroken, they're upset, and they post it on the internet. And then a lot of these parents get mad in the comments talking about, hey, mind your business, mind your business. This is what I'm doing. This is the way I discipline my child. I'm not doing anything wrong. But they the same ones who put their business out there, but then get mad when it gets criticized saying you shouldn't do that. Also, you're really clout chasing. Truth be told, a lot of these parents out here, they looking for likes. You know, you're if you're on Facebook, on Instagram, you might be battling with a whole lot of different people on your timeline. And out of all the things you can post, you post you berating your child, making your child walk 5 miles or something, and or saying they were bad at the store, or they've gotten the F and D's, or they nasty. Like I posted a video today on my page on Facebook of this woman berating her daughter, talk about how she don't keep the bathroom clean or how she's nasty, and just really cursing at her daughter for 15 straight minutes. It was 15 minutes on that live just berating her daughter and calling her all types of obscenities and all of this, and it's just a shame. That's the way they parent. And there was an article that was in the Star newspaper. It said it might be called the shame game. A parent embarrassing a child on social media as a way of disciplining them for bad behavior with the hope that they will learn their lesson and mend their ways. But parenting experts say such public humiliation isn't effective means of discipline for altering behavior, and it can have long-term lasting effects on children's self-esteem. Also, there was a Toronto family counselor that said such by disciplining actions reflect misguided thinking on the part of the parent who believe that if a child is made to feel guilty, they won't repeat what they did. It is extremely punitive because public shaming and humiliation is the It's only shredding the relationship and not building it. So you're not building the relationship. Like, I get it. We've all kind of been raised with tough love, or we might been disciplined a different way. I come from the 90s. My mama was never ashamed to put a belt to me, but she never took a picture of it. She never got a video camera. None of that. Like, the discipline that happened in the house. The only way you got public discipline from me growing up is if I acted up in church and she pitched me underneath my arm, or she excused herself to the bathroom and all the ushers knew what was finna go down. Like, oh yeah, that's finna happen. So it's a
Oh,
difference between shaming and discipline. And I don't think a lot of these parents know the difference.
let me jump in on this one. Let me jump in on this one. I want to piggyback on some stuff. Yeah, you and I grew up in the age where as kids, thank God we didn't have social media because yeah, I think some of our parents would have did the same thing. I know not mine. My mama was a church woman. She going to heaven's first trip. But yeah, we got the you act up in church, you got excused to the bathroom, you got a pinch. That is wonderful. That is so wonderful. I got the bathroom. Anyway, um, but this is more, how can I say it? This is more, this will mess up a kid's head. Like, there's one thing we can go back over our lives, our childhood, and remember stuff off of just memory. But when there is footage out there of you getting just straight humiliated, beat down, all of that, like, nah, that don't hold the same effect. You don't laugh about it later or be like, man, remember when? No, like, there's footage on the World Wide Web. Like, it ain't going away, not never. And if any of these kids decide as an adult to run for office and everything, I got a feeling they, you know how politicians run for office and everything, they find dirt on them. They gonna find a lot of people whooping because yeah, they parents just want to. Oh, I'm gonna show an example. Let me put it like this: there was another video of a lady got called up to the school because her son was misbehaving. She up there marching up there to where her son is with the teacher, like Miss Sophia, with her friend behind her recording the whole thing. And told this little boy off. I mean, right in front of the teacher. The poor little white teacher couldn't even do nothing but just stand there and be like, "Oh my God, this is just too much." And then you get surprised when either somebody say something about it or you get reported because if y'all don't think DCFS ain't looking, they looking at these pages, boo. Duh. This ain't discipline. This is just all, yeah, like you said, clout chasing. I'm gonna show how I get down as a parent. You ain't have to. You don't gotta do all that. You ain't gotta do all that. You ain't gotta report everything about your kids all the time. You ain't gotta do all that. Okay, accomplishments, cool. Pictures of when they grow, how they growing up, cool. If they acting a fool, if you want to solicit prayers, just say pray for little Tay Tay in Jesus' name, amen. That's it. You don't go that far. And I think a lot of these parents be thinking that they're causing like some type of respect or fear, putting a fear in them, but this gonna backfire on y'all because that child is going to get y'all or act out in a very worst way down the line, and then you're gonna be sitting up here looking crazy. I honestly think that the day and age of the whoopings and everything kind of outdated, but as black people, we used to that and thinking what worked for us should work for our kids, and that is not the way at all. We just need to come up with some new methods, especially now off of, if you look at it, off of the stuff that these kids is getting beat down for. We did it. I'm like this. If you wasn't a straight A student from the time you was in preschool till you graduated college, you should never, ever, ever get on your child about bad grades so bad that you humiliate them. It might be something wrong with your child. If you kind of having problems in a certain area, they might have a little problems up in a certain area. You go see what you can do to help your child. If your child acting a fool up in school, something going on. That ain't the time for you to go up there and whoop their behind. First, you figure out where this coming from, evaluate the situation, and then move on from there. All of this, man. Some of y'all parents need to go on somewhere with all that. I'm done.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you, Alexis, because in a lot of ways, these parents are doing things for, like I said, for clout. And I just don't understand the mentality of, I'm going to hit record, or I'm going to show you. It's like they almost want to show you. I'm going to show you who really wanted things. Like, you don't, your child automatically loves you. They love you. They care about
Yeah,
you. And you don't have to, in a way, who's wanting things, because they're going to know. And the fear of you, doing something to them, whether it is whooping them, whether it is taking away that controller to that game, or saying, hey, like, it's different ways to do things. Like with my daughter, when she doesn't act right, I might give her a look. I might say, you know what? Give me your phone. Or I would let her keep her phone, but I'll put a timer on it and lock it. So she goes do thinking she about to play Roblox or something. And then I just totally cut it off. And then I was like, nope, you don't get your phone for a week. You can have it in your hand. I'm not gonna take it away, but it's locked. You can't do anything on it but call me and call the select people on that list, but you can't talk to your friends. You can't go on them gaming apps. You can't go on TikTok and none of that. So it's different ways to discipline. Like, I'm a mixture of what I grew up with, but I also talk to her, figure it out. Like when she got a bad grade, I didn't go all off on Facebook and be like, "Oh my goodness." I had to look within myself and see, am I being attentive enough as a parent? Am I making sure her homework is checked? Am I making sure she's reading enough? Maybe she's spending too much time on YouTube. Maybe I need to redirect her energy. Maybe I just need to give her a mental health check every now and then. Like sometimes as a parent, you got to reevaluate yourself. And a lot of parents, they don't want to do that. They already know that they carry some behaviors and some things that they don't like about themselves. But instead of confronting it, they reflect it onto their children. And they say that you're the problem. You're the reason I act so crazy. You're the reason I got to drink. You're the reason I got to smoke. You're the reason you got me cursing like this. But everybody know before you even had kids, you was this way. So don't even try to
Mm-hmm.
blame your children. You was this way before, during, and after. So don't even try to blame them babies like that.
Right.
So I get into the whole thing of bullying and shaming your child is not tough love. It's not. Everybody kind of grew up with tough love. At least I did. That love of, what, you got to be better, or you can't be trifling, or and them things your parents would say might hurt you, and it might upset you, but it motivates you, and you understand where it's coming from. Or that tough love when they will spank you behind and be like, it really does hurt you. And when I was a shorty, I was like, how does this whooping hurt you? I'm the one with the butt that stings. What you mean this hurts you more than it hurts me? But as I became a parent, I understood you don't want to do those things to your child. But the more videos I'm seeing, these parents are actually getting some thrill out of it. Like they're enjoying it. Like you're kind of sick to be enjoying seeing your child suffer and cry, or make them walk 5 miles because they was being rude to the bus driver or anything like that. Like you're really causing some damage, some breakdowns in your relationship, and it's not even cool, y'all. It's not. It's not cool at all. So that leads me to my next point. Some people shouldn't have kids. Let's just call it what it is. Some people just shouldn't have children. And
At
I
all.
at all. And I respect the women and the men who haven't had kids. You might come across a 40-year-old, a 50-year-old who never had children. You was like, what? You never met Mr. White or da da da, or met Mrs. White? Why you didn't want to have kids? And they were straight. And a lot of them would be honest. They's like, I. I wasn't good at taking care of myself, and I didn't want to bring a child into my mess and my brokenness and my issues. And that's being very self-aware of who you are and what you are. And I respect people who are that way, who can honestly say to themselves, I don't need to have kids, or I shouldn't have kids, or those who wait. A lot of times in society, we might judge a woman because she waits until she's 34, and you might think, oh, she's just career driven or this. No, maybe she had to go through some things and figure out what she wanted to do before she had children. Maybe she had to go through therapy. Maybe she had to figure out some things, because being a parent is really reveals a lot about yourself. Your child is a real mirror to who you are as a person, and that's real. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm not all for the government being in our business and saying like we shouldn't whoop our kids or we shouldn't do corporal punishment or whatever. And I get it for a reason, but I do believe that there's some reasons for maybe doing it or having it. But I truly believe that you should be required to take some parenting classes, moms and dads. Not while you're pregnant, and after you're pregnant, after you give birth. Like, I really believe that you should take some parenting classes, because think about it. We go through driver's ed to learn how to drive and operate a vehicle and learn the rules of the road. You have to have a license, and sometimes some pastors won't even marry you until you go through some premarital counseling. You have to go through all of these requirements to do simple tasks in life. You have to have go through background checks before you get jobs, go through drug testing, do all of those things to prove that you're qualified for this job. That you some jobs even have you go through a psych evaluation. So for all of these responsibilities and these jobs and these things we're doing, we have classes required and get some type of certificate or license to say that we can operate this vehicle or we can do this job. But you mean to tell me that parenting classes are optional? That you could take them? Like, I do believe that at least you should take one. I'm not saying it should be enforced, but by the way some of these parents act, or the way that they be so cold to their kids, I do believe you need some type of guidance, because being a parent is one of the biggest jobs. You're raising the next generation. And if you
Uh-huh.
wasn't built with the right stuff, you put your child in the wrong stuff, because you got baggage. You give your child that baggage to carry, and you're just continuing the cycle. You continue in that generational curse and that cloud that hangs over your family. And you like, why can't it be broken? It's because somebody needs to be the one to say no more. We're not going to do this again.
Right. You're right. I agree with you totally. I did it. Shoot, I took parenting classes twice. I'm just saying, for the simple fact that anybody that started this wonderful journey of parenthood, you gotta learn different techniques. You can't just keep on yelling. You just can't keep on hollering and whooping and everything, thinking that some way it's gonna work. No, after a while, it will stress you out, overwhelm you, put the wrong type of um, fear into your children, that mom or dad just will pop off. It ain't nothing wrong with little parenting classes. It's really not. You learn different techniques. You learn how to handle stressful situations, how to balance life, parenting, and work life and everything, and not have your life and your work life affect your parenting to that child. Is it raising them to be soft? No. but they teach you what you teach, what you're learning from these parenting classes is something that you can pass on to your children. You can teach them how to calm down, how to deal with their emotions, how to, when they feel upset, how to speak, how out their frustration, verbalize their anger instead of acting out, instead of fussing, instead of all of that. Something happened to their children. And even growing up, you got to understand, you had to learn stuff and you didn't come on this earth with a manual of learning and you knew everything and how to eat and how to walk and how to feed yourself and everything in academics. You did not come here as a genius baby. They didn't either. So hey, ain't nothing wrong with just changing up a little bit. You what you grew up in, you don't want to do that. And for the parents that does that, I'm not gonna do that to my children. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But don't go so far that it's just it don't come off as this is a discipline for this child doing something wrong or a wrong behavior or a bad behavior, but it's coming off as you just taking out your frustration on your children. No, boo, that's not what you do. Get some parenting classes. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Plus, you got to think about this, and I know Chanel is going to agree with me on this. Um, that this ain't look. Your child is half of you and half of that other parent. So you dealing with stuff they do that they remind you of you. And then they do something that make you go, that might be your dad. Or that might be
Amen.
your mom.
Amen.
I,
Like
I have done
they
it. I
they
have. Go ahead.
no, I was about to say like like it's been times where my daughter, she can make a facial expression or do something. I'll be like, "Oh, you got your daddy's attitude today." Or I don't, and you be like, oh, I wonder where your attitude comes from or how you act, and I'm like, you got a little bit of me in you. So a lot of times I think a lot of these parents see a lot of themselves or a lot of that person who
Mm-hmm,
they had that child with. And sometimes a lot of
mm-hmm,
that punishment is you can't take it out on the person on that other parent, because if it didn't end well or you're going through something or y'all not seeing eye to eye, you in turn takes what you would want to say and do to that other person and you reflect it upon your child. Like if little Sean looks like Big Sean, and he got his facial
yeah.
expressions and his genetics. Oh, you some days, like I can't stand you. When in actuality, you can't stand his daddy, and it just triggers you
Mm-hmm.
because you got a mini copycat walking around the house looking like the man, or you see your little daughter and she remind you of your baby mama, and you just like and like it can happen. It can happen to the best of us.
Yeah, it can. It can. I ain't gonna lie. Both of my kids do stuff that remind me of me, and I gotta go. Good one. Probably did something that I did, and they outdid it more than me. I'll be like, "You smart," and then they do something or say something or act out in a way that remind me of their daddy. And what I do, I just text them at work and say, "Go get your kids. Come get your kids. Come get your kids." Oh, little Brandon is up today, and he in a mood. Come get your come get your son. Ooh, your daughter, your
Yeah,
daughter
yeah.
acting like you. Come get your daughter.
Like when they do
But
something amazing, oh, that's my son, that's my baby. When they get on your nerves, that you go call your daddy, come tell him to get you, or like you really be disassociate yourself, like you get that from your daddy side of the family. I have no idea where that comes from.
like that's you. That's all you. That's that side. That 50%. That's that side. That's that side right there. But y'all, for real though, let's just keep it 100 and keep it real. Y'all just let's do better as parents because we we don't know how much damage we're doing to their mental health, to our mental health, man. To and I feel like what how things are with these kids now. Seeing some kids that's up in my children's grade, they little kids and they mad and they angry and they little Tasmanian devils, but it's not like regular kid stuff. They be going through some grown up stuff. Y'all, for those who listen to this and y'all are parents of little children of like elementary school age and everything, y'all don't get them up in your grown folks business. Please don't. Cause that stresses them out a lot. And they take that on as well. So don't do that. Don't do that, y'all. Don't these kids too young to be having adults stress out problems, sitting up in the class crying because they worry about whether they gonna have lights on. That ain't none of their business. Or if everything gonna be okay between mommy and daddy. That ain't none of their business. Y'all, chill out on that.
Yeah,
Or if mommy gonna be alright, if mommy is gonna be happy today. That ain't none of
that's
their
true.
business.
That is so true. And
That ain't none of their business.
a lot of times parents take whatever they're going through and they reflect it on their child. Like if income is low, can't pay rent, and it's struggles. Like it's struggles trying to take care of your child, whether it's a two-parent household with two incomes, or it's just you with one income, or you get some help from the other parent. Like it can be a lot, but I've always known this. My mom did one amazing thing for me growing up. If we went through something, like I remember my mom being laid off for a significant time, like twice in my life, and you wouldn't know it. When lights were still on, food was still in the refrigerator. Like she never let me know if things were going wrong or going awry. Like I just knew that, I was gonna have food. I was gonna have lights and heat, and I was gonna have everything I needed. So it was a blessing to not have that on me because I was just able to be a kid. And of course, when you get older, when you get around your teen years, or if you're a very sensitive soul, or you're just observant, like I've always been, like I would know something's going on, but I wouldn't be worried about it because my mom handled it with so much grace that it made it so simple for me to just to be a kid. And a lot of parents don't allow that. Like if your child is you getting mad because your child keeps being on the video game, then you have the power to take away the game. Just take the controller away. But you don't need to get on Facebook, make a video of you taking the game, having your child hold a baseball bat, and have them take that game and hit it and break every disc of every game of Call of Duty or 2K, or do any of that, and then run it over with the back of your truck saying that's what's gonna happen in my house. You could have just talked to him and be like, "Hey, little man, like, what's going on with your grades? Like, I think you be on that game too much, or hey, I'm gonna have to take the game away from you, or anything like that." No, you'll go all on Facebook, all on the internet, make these videos of your child, have them cry, and then have the nerve to say, "Why you bitching? Why you crying?" Because that means something to them. You're tearing something up and be like,
Mm-hmm.
"Well, since I bought it, and since it's in my house, and I can tear up the TV, and I bought all of this stuff, and all it like that doesn't make it right. It doesn't." And you look like Boo Boo the Fool because you gonna break their stuff, and then when they do get their grades up, then you be like, "Well, I ain't buying you another one. You should have kept the one you got." And they really want to say to you, "What? You the one who broke it." So that is just ridiculous, and that leads me to say, um, you're really as with the bullying and shaming, You're really teaching your children that being abused and being in a toxic relationship is okay. That's what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You're because that translation of mama hits me or mama publicly embarrasses me or daddy tears up my stuff is going to teach is teaching your son like the way I need to raise my kid or to show my woman love is by smacking her around and embarrassing her and cursing her and cursing at her. Oh, I know that my man loves me because he throws a temper tantrum all the time, or he throws a fit like my dad used to do when I had bad grades, or if I didn't cook the food right, he throws it on the floor. But it's okay. I know he loves me. He's gonna come back and apologize like my dad did, and that
Mm-hmm.
sticks with them psychologically. And you're having them exhibit abusive behavior and be in toxic relationships due to the fact with your parents, as we have stated on this podcast many times. You as a father, you're your son's hero and your daughter's first love, and the reverse goes to a mother. You're your daughter's hero and you're your son's first love and the first impression of a woman. So if you're doing all of these things to them now, when they get in their adolescence and they grow and they mature, then they're going to think this toxic behavior is normal, that this is the way it's supposed to go, until they get with somebody who tells them, no, baby, this is not what we do. We don't yell and scream, and when something is not done to perfection, or they get into a way of, if they bring home a C or a D, they'll be breaking down crying like, oh, I'm gonna get the game taken away from me, or what's gonna happen to me this time. Instead of, like Alexa said, they might have ADHD, they might need an IEP, they might have some learning development issues, but you would never know that because you just want to be like, why you got this D, or why you acting out in class, or why you can't sit still, or why you can't shut up when the teacher's talking. Instead, you abuse them and you shame them and you embarrass them instead of giving them the proper help that they need, and that's not cool.
Look, I'm gonna put it like, for all of y'all with kids that be on this game and everything. I'll give you a better way to do this. Always, yeah, you can take the game, take the controller and all that. You want to know how to get your kid back, or not even get your kid back, but you want to teach a lesson through that game and everything. This is what you do. Whatever game that your child got a winning streak on, you go mess up their winning streak.
You
They
wrong.
be
You
at
wrong
the
for that.
top
You,
board,
you
leaderboard,
wrong.
be at the top. By the time they get off of punishment and get back to that game, they be at the bottom. Yeah, do that. Do it. Go ahead. Now that might be petty, but hey, we learned a
Hey,
lesson. We learned a lesson.
some, sometimes pettiness helps and it works, but like for real. And I just want to talk about this because I believe this is important. Mental health is real. Your child's mental health is real. For me, especially going through this quarantine and this pandemic, checking in on my child, making sure her mental health was good, making sure that she was straight, making sure that, she was away from her friends. Her life shifted overnight. It went from learning in the classroom to being in front of a computer and learning and trying to adjust on the fly and do all these things. And now it's not only the teacher who you got to pay attention to. You might be distracted because your grandma, your mama might be trying to give you the answers while you on Zoom class. But you like, no, I don't know who to listen to. So you have to chill out. We as parents, we go through a lot. We do. But one thing I used to not like hearing my mother say to me was, what you know about being stressed out? Or you don't know anything,
Mm,
you're just a child. Or you don't, or when I say that gets on my nerves, girl, you ain't got no nerves to get put on, or any, or those little sayings that you hear from maybe your aunties, your uncles, or your parents. Talk about what you talking about, you tired. When I was your age, I worked 40 some hours and da da da. Like, people's adjustment and mental health is real. Like, and we don't talk about it enough in the black community. It's always, oh, just pray about it. It's going to be okay. Just pray about it. But we don't actually seek help. Therapy is okay. Getting help is okay. We have to normalize this thing because as a black people, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm keeping it real, as a black people, we deal with a lot of PTSD, whether it's what we deal with out here on the
Mm-hmm.
streets, what we deal with racism, sexism, all what we deal with, the burden we carry, whether it's at our jobs and having to talk the talk and walk the walk and have to put on, code switching and all of those things, or just trying to make it in life. And the reality is that if we're going through things as parents, what makes you think your child's not going through something? Them being, and then you're not helping your child by embarrassing them on social media. Because guess what? 9 times out of 10, that video of your child that you're beating your child or embarrassing them or they're crying, that goes viral. What makes you think the other kids at school won't see it? So now that they're getting
Mm-hmm.
bullied by you at home, and then they get bullied and talked about at school. So they have no safe haven. They get bullied at home and they got to run from bullies at school. And that can break them down. And that's why we have such a high rate of suicide within our youth. And let's just keep it real. We're in Chicago. And if any of you've been keeping up with the news, you hear about all of these shootings and things that go on, which is a shame and it's sad and it's heartbreaking. But a lot of these young boys, and I would say girls, because don't get it twisted, some girls be out here wilding too. But a lot of them,
Mm-hmm.
they don't get love at home. So they go to these streets, they go to the gangs, they follow the culture they see on social media or with these rappers, or not even with music, but just the culture of the streets, just what they see in music or movies or video games, and they're looking for acceptance. Don't you know that gangs and cliques are looking for those vulnerable, broken people to turn into savages and just not care? So if you don't install a moral compass into your child, they're not going to care. So they have no problem with shooting a gun and it hits an innocent 20-month old or it hits an innocent 10-year old. It doesn't matter because they're not getting validation and love at home. So they seek it from other people who don't have their best interest at heart. So what are we really doing? We are responsible for the next generation. And if you're doing this for clout, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. And for your parents out there who be on the internet, be like, yeah, DCFS came and got them kids. Fuck them kids. Forget them
Oh,
kids.
oh,
All of that. Like, really? So yeah,
oh.
you not gonna get your kids back because DCFS is looking. People have to remember the World Wide Web. Your page can say private, but all it takes is for one person who has a public profile to share your story or to share your video, and it gets shared on another page, and before you know it, you're on the shade room or whatever, or you're trending on Twitter, and then once it gets so much news attention, then it goes to your local news, and then the local authorities got to look into it because you're doing this. And I'm not even talking about the abuse that you do with embarrassing them. I'm talking about you think it's cute that your child is twerking or that they're cursing or that they're or you got your 5-year old or your 10-year old drinking beer or being like, hit that blunt, little man, hit that blunt. Like, what?
Mm-hmm.
And
Or
I've
you hitting
seen
the
it
blunt,
all.
or you hitting the blunt around a newborn baby. Stuff
And you doing it, or you
like
got your
that.
14, or you smoking and you drinking with your 14 and 15-year old, and you trying to be buddy buddy with them. I'm not saying not try to be their friend and have a relationship with them, because my daughter, that's my best friend, that's my buddy, like that's my Target buddy. We go to Target and it's like, let's go. But that's not your partner. That's not your homegirl, your homeboy, where you be smoking and drinking, or you throwing parties every night. And we see, like back in the day when my mom would have her adult party, and that red light would be on or whatever, she'd be like, "Take your butt upstairs, close the door, and if I see you sneaking down here, it's a wrap." But no, it's like, oh, let's party with them. And then that leads to your child or your daughter or your son being around your grown friends. And some of your grown friends are some perverts. and they wind up touching
Uh-huh.
and molesting your child or having an inappropriate relationship with your child. And then when it's found out, you like, oh my goodness, how did this happen? And then like, no, you created the environment for it to happen. So don't be going out here, and these be the same parents who be talking about F them kids, and I'm glad deep CFS came and got them, be the same ones crying when their child is on the news that are missing because they ran away from home, or they committed suicide, or they got shot because they was out here eh, doing a drive by or anything, and you just be so sad on the news, but then you go back and realize that these parents didn't care, and then that's why their child ended up like that. Because
But you
I'm
know,
telling you, it's wrong, and you are questioning your child's mental health. And like I said before, you're teaching them that being in a toxic and abusive relationship is acceptable, and then they perpetrate that
uh-huh.
behavior. And then when they have children, guess what they do? They treat them the same way that they were treated, because that's their blueprint. They didn't have a different type of blueprint, but the one you gave them.
Yep, yep. And also, just to comment on that, what she was talking about, the lady, she's talking about a video that I sent her of a lady that got on live sitting in her living room with her two baby daddies talking about how happy she was that the state came and got her 7 kids with their two fathers sitting in the room on Xbox talking about, man, fuck them kids. See, we in the age of social media. You do know that stays on the web. Think about how them kids feel, especially if any of them is old enough to have a page, and you see on your page your mama talking about fuck them kids, man, your daddy sitting on the couch talking about fuck them kids, and you ain't asked to, them babies didn't ask to be here, them kids didn't ask to be here at all, didn't make themselves, didn't choose you or nothing. That whole sense of identity, or that I belong to somebody, that somebody care about me. Man, I saw that video. I was like, I know so many people that off of one mistake had to deal with DCFS and worked hard. I mean, countless hours, countless times, countless days, countless months, maybe years to get their kids. And for you to sit up here and be like, man, fuck them kids, man, fuck them kids. I ain't want them anyway. They was bad anyway. If they was bad, it's because of you. They just you. So y'all be careful. Y'all, when you blessed to have children, because there's a lot of people out here that it has been trying to have children for a long time, and they see y'all raggedy selves on here with kids talking about, man, F them kids, man, they get on my nerves, man, and embarrassing them and whooping them and everything, and all they want to have is a child so they can be better than what they see on here. Get y'all stuff together. All right, that's all I gotta say.
And that's real. And I just want to say something else. Um, like you said, they grow up and they see that, so the children has a replay that they never cared, and you abuse them and you embarrass them, but then turn around, let the child become successful. Then you say, "Oh, that's my baby," and no, 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 you didn't want me. Remember, you didn't care about me. Remember, or just remember one thing, people, and I'm going to say this for all of the people out there. You're going to get old, and you're going to get frail, and you might get dementia, Alzheimer's, start pooping and peeing on yourself. It's the circle of life. You came into this world as a baby, and you might leave as a baby. Instead of having huggies, you got the pens. You had a walker when you was a kid, now you got a walker as an adult, so on and so forth. Remember, Your child will have the choice to either let you stay in your house and they pay for a private nurse or some home care assistance for you to be comfortable, and or you get older and they move you into their house to take care of you and to love on you and to do all of that. I know from my mother what she has all done for me. When she does get up in age, or God forbid she becomes immobile or anything, I know I'm gonna make sure she gonna stay with me, or she's gonna or I'm make a guest house for her in the back. Something gonna happen. I'm gonna make sure she's good because she treated me so well, done so much for me and my child that I owe her that. Like Pac said, ain't no way I can pay you back. But my plan is to show you that I understand. But you parents out there who haven't done right by your children, instead of them making sure you get all of those amenities, they send you to Shady Pines with the nurse that don't care and that be beating on you and they never come see you and don't introduce you to their grandchildren, to your grandchildren or none of that. Or be like, you know what, you could do whatever with them, like let insurance pay for some or any of that, and then you feel miserable because the last bit what's supposed to be your glory years you are spent in a hospital or a nursing home with some nurses who will be like, I'm just waiting until I can clock out, and you be listening to Timothy, who in the bed next to you, who talks to himself in the middle of the night because he got trauma from the war and he got PTSD, and then like and he talk, huh? I can't hear you. Or he watching old episodes of Law and Order on extra loud, and you just trying to sleep. So I'm just saying, y'all, karma is real,
It is.
and
Karma
it's
real.
real. Karma, she is a woman who never forgets. You might not you might not see her tomorrow. You might not see her next week. You might not see her next year, but when you meet her, oh baby, when you meet her, what happens, Alexis? What happens when you meet that voluptuous woman of karma?
Karma is old. When you meet her, you know her because she give back everything that you did tenfold. So be careful how you treat people, especially your kids.
Please, please do. And it's real. And I just want to say before we get out of here, parents, everything don't need to be done for the gram, and no doing it for the vine and your Instagram stories and all of that, and on Facebook and on your time. Like, share your kids' accomplishments, share their triumphs, but don't always share their tragedies. It's better ways to parent. And you have to break the cycle. If that's the way you was parented, don't give that to your child. Get help. Talk to them, communicate with them, love on them, because that's the best thing you can do. Is when you really talk, when you really communicate, when you really love on your child and you give them grace to make mistakes, because they're not going to get anything perfect. Because remember this, just because you went through the second grade or the fifth grade and you know that 2 times 2 is 4, and you know 6 times 6 is 12, and you know all of that already, doesn't they're learning this for the first time. So develop that patience, give them that grace, give them the same grace that God gives you for every mistake that you make.
Yep,
And you can't be talking about you a church going family, but you punish them and you crucify them in such a way that would make Jesus hang his head. Don't do that. Don't you, and because
mm-hmm.
you got a lot of Christians out here preaching forgiveness and love, but they're abusing people in their own house.
That's a whole nother subject right there that we're gonna talk about too.
And it's real. And you got a lot of parents out here who are not doing right by their children. And it's wrong. And also, if you on social media and you see something and it's one of your friends on social media and they doing that to their kids, yo, send them an inbox and tell them take that down, or tell them I'm gonna report you, because me being in education, I'm a mandated reporter. So if I see something, I'ma say something. You can call it snitching all you want to. But you don't need to be doing that and shaming and publicly humiliating your child and making them do all of those things, because you're really making them to be like some type of entertainment, some type of, ha 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 ha. Like, in The Simpsons when the kid would go, ha 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 ha. Like, that's what you're doing to them. And that's shameful, and they break down and they cry, and that's why these babies are committing suicide, and you find them hanging up in their closet, or you find them hanging up by their jump rope. Like, don't be doing that. That's not right. Or you shaming them for a whole different things because you don't like the way they are in school, or the friends that they have, or possibly what their sexuality might be.
Oh, and
I, I I'm just saying, because a lot of parents out their kids, once they realize that their kids might like something that they don't like, and they might be living an alternative lifestyle that they don't approve of, so they kick them out, they abuse them, they talk about them. It's one thing when things happen, and I remember, like, when I would get bad grades or I would do something, and my mom would probably get on with, like, my auntie, or somebody, or my uncle, or talk to my older brother. That's different. That's within the family. You don't like it a lot, because when you go to Thanksgiving and your family be giving you that look because your mama wearing her mouth too doggone much. You're like, mama, stop telling my business. But she told it to her. If you imagine how they feel when it's just their family, imagine how they feeling when it's the whole world. When it's people that they don't know judging them. And then you're telling people out there on the internet, don't judge me as a parent because you only saw 10 minutes of my parenthood. Well, them 10 minutes on Facebook Live or Instagram Live told me all I need to know. You straight up trash. And it's not right. But I hope that this could help somebody. I hope that parents could get it through their head that this is not cool, that you shouldn't do this, and that you should love on your child. Give them love, give them praise, give them all what they need to help them grow up to be happy, healthy, functioning, fully vulnerable human beings in society, and have them equipped to come out here and handle it, and have them not get into toxic abusive relationships. But we could go on all day and all night about this, but I just wanted to state that, and I felt that this was something important that we need to touch on. Like, everything don't need to be done, and clout is the downfall for a lot of you, because you're doing it for likes, you're doing it for all the views. But once your babies are taken away from you and they in the system, and then you cause them more trauma, they will never forgive you, and that relationship is never mended. What you meant for it to be punishment is a lesson. You will get the hard lessons at the end, and that's keeping it 100 with you.
all the way.
So, and for real. So as we pull into the 95th Street station, please grab all your belongings and exit this train. This is as far as it will go. As you head up the stairs, elevator, and escalator, and head to your next destination, we want to thank you for riding the Red Line with us. Please come back next Thursday and every Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on TalkShoeRadio.com. Our number is 717-734-6904. Show ID 511-65-19 pound. You can also check out our YouTube page, The Redline Podcast. Please like, share, and subscribe, and turn on those post notifications for all upcoming videos and episodes. And we got some exclusive content going to be dropping real soon. Also, we are proud to announce that we are
Well,
now on Google Podcasts and
well,
Spotify.
well. All right, all right, all right, all right.
So you can now catch us right here on TalkShoeRadio.com live every Thursday. Redline Thursday at 7 p.m. Central
Red
Standard
line
Time.
Thursday.
And you can, if you didn't catch us live on Thursdays, you can watch our episodes on YouTube, or you can download and follow us on Spotify, or download and listen to us on Google Podcasts. We are working on getting on Apple Podcasts very soon. Hopefully, that announcement will be coming sooner than later, but we'll keep you posted about that. So, don't forget to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell some more friends that you can follow us on our Facebook page at the Redline Podcast featuring Loose Squares. Please follow and like for all upcoming topics and events. And just let us know what you want to hear. Like I said, drop a comment. Um Tag us in the video. Let us know what you think we should be talking about, because we want to know the pulse of the people, because the reason we have been so successful so far is because of all of you, and we want to cater to the content and the things that you want to listen and what you want to hear. Also, if you're interested in promoting your event or your business or any other business inquiries, please email us at redlinepodcast2020 at gmail.com. You can follow me on Instagram at Nelly Swag 09. You can follow me on Twitter at Nelly Swag 09. And please like and follow my fan page on Facebook, Nelly Swag 09 as well, for you to get all updates what's going on with me personally. You can tag me in things on Twitter, on Facebook, or on Instagram of what we should talk about, and we'll be making some big announcements coming soon. And I would just like to thank you for what y'all have been doing for us so far. We're in July. We have made it to another month, and we're at another level of Jumanji. Hopefully, this game will end soon. And as I say that, Queen Alexis, where can they find you and what you got coming up?
Man, y'all can find me everywhere. Everywhere, everywhere. I am on Facebook. You can hit up both of my pages, my regular page, Alexis Sherelle Owens, my fan page, Queen Alexis. I am on Instagram, Queen underscore Alexis 1990. You can also find me back here every Tuesday, every Thursday, and every Saturday night. Tuesday at 8, Thursday at 7, and Saturday at 8 on Talk Shoe Radio with all three of the platforms. Madam Queen's Court open mic on Tuesday. The Red Line Thursday with my girl Nelly Swag on Thursday. And the wonderful, the controversial, the all for the smoke, with the smoke, and only the smoke. Mad Hatter Show with my boy Devontae Davis. Tune in this Saturday. This is one hell of a topic that we are going to be talking about. We are going on the Mad Hatter Show. We are going to be talking about the black community versus the black LGBTQ community. Where,
Oh,
with, are we the same? Is it one? What is our relationship status, and is it one-sided as hell? I believe it's so. Also, we will have a special guest. Her name is Mavis Davis. She was on guest hosting last week for me while I was holding down the mic. And she will be back on this week on this show talking about this as well. So, that number is 717-734-6904. Show ID 991-5968 Call in, join the conversation. This ain't something that you want to miss. Tell your friends, tell your mama, tell your cousin, your auntie too. All right. I will see y'all back on Saturday. Y'all can catch us on our social media pages. Also, all three of our platform pages on Facebook. The Mad Hatter Show, the Red Line Podcast, and Madam Queen's Court. That's it. That's where you can
yes.
find me.
Yes. So, once again, everybody, we are now on Spotify and Google Podcasts. So please, 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 and please, subscribe, like, comment on our YouTube page. We got some real special things coming soon, but we can't do it without your love and support. So keep downloading the show off of off of talkshoeradio.com. As the numbers indicate, y'all like that B Simone episode last week because it's up to over 30 downloads. So keep downloading, keep them engagements, keep them numbers, keep them impressions because we appreciate the support so much. And we just going to keep getting better and better because the more we keep doing it, the better we're going to get. And we got some fireworks popping off for July, baby. We got some topics for you. So you do not want to miss it. So once again, catch us here every Thursday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on TalkShoeRadio.com, 717-734-6904, show ID 511-6519 because we got some major things coming. So keep it tuned in. Spotify, Google Podcasts, YouTube, and right here on TalkShoeRadio.com. So once again, I want to thank you for riding the red line with us on this red line Thursday.
Red
With
Line Thursday.
and that's becoming a real big thing out there. So keep the hashtag going. Red Line Thursday, Red Line Podcast, Loose Squares and Loud. Hit up Queen Alexis. What you want her to talk about on her Loose Squares and Loud segment? What you think she need to get ignorant with? What you think she need to really break down? So please let us know. So again, thank you for coming to ride the red line with us. We will see you same time, same place, with the same host, which is me, your girl, Nelly Swag 09, and the beautiful Queen Alexis. And until next time, peace and blessings. Be safe out there this 4th of July weekend. And once again, as I like to say, forever and for always, Black Lives Matter. And we gone.